Hello guys, today we will discuss the situation on the front of the Ukrainian-Russian war at the end of August 13th. On the night of August 14, 2023, the enemy launched several waves of attack drones and caliber cruise missiles. The UAVs attacked from the southeastern direction, Calibri from the Black Sea. In total, the enemy used 15 shot 136 over 131 attack UAVs, 8 caliber cruise missiles. All targets were destroyed by the forces and means of air defense of the Air Force in cooperation with units of other components of the defense forces. Anti-aircraft guided missiles and small arms of direct cover units were used. As a result of the anti-aircraft battle due to the fall of fragments of missiles and drones, a fire broke out in several locations in the city of Odessa. Rescuers are working. Also, around 5 on August 14, 2023, in the direction of Bakhmut, an anti-aircraft missile unit of the Air Force destroyed an enemy helicopter. At Syvershchina and Slobozhenshchina directions, Russian army shelled Roshkovichi, Kindrativka, Lokhnya, Uroyety, Popovka of Sumy region and Udy, Strelcha, Hlybok, Okremivka, Budarki of Kharkiv region. Russian aviation conducted airstrike at Huryev Kazakok of Kharkiv region, General Staff of Armed Forces of Ukraine says in the morning report. Also reported on damage to residential building in Belgorod after loud explosions. At Kupiansk direction, Russian army shelled Kupiansk, Masudivka, Kislivka, Berestov of Kharkiv region. Russian aviation conducted airstrikes at Kislivka and Pershtravnev of Kharkiv region, General Staff of Armed Forces of Ukraine says in the morning report. Russian forces conducted offensive operations along the Kupiansk-Svatov line on August 13 and reportedly advanced. Russian Western Grouping of Forces spokesperson Sergei Zybinsky claimed that assault groups of the 6th Combined Arms Army Western Military District advanced near Vilshana 15 kilometers northeast of Kupiansk. Former Luhansk People's Republic LNR Interior Minister Vitaly Kiselyov claimed that Russian forces are advancing in unspecified areas on the left east bank of the Osko River and are no more than 5 kilometers from the outskirts of Kupiansk in some unspecified areas. A Russian millblogger claimed that Russian forces are slowly advancing in the Kupiansk direction but would require reinforcements to break through Ukrainian defenses, which Russian command does not have available to commit to the Kupiansk direction. The Ukrainian General Staff reported that Russian forces conducted unsuccessful ground attacks northeast of Sinkivka 9 kilometers northeast of Kupiansk, north of Kislivka 20 kilometers southeast of Kupiansk, and southeast of Andriivka 15 kilometers west of Svatov. A millblogger claimed that Russian forces conducted offensive operations near Ivanivka 20 kilometers southeast of Kupiansk. The Russian mod claimed that Ukrainian forces conducted unsuccessful attacks along the Kupiansk-Svatov line and near Kremina on August 13. The Russian mod claimed that Russian forces repelled Ukrainian attacks near Sinkivka, the Mankivka tract roughly 15 kilometers east of Kupiansk, Novoslivsk 15 kilometers north of Svatov, Novoye Horivka 14 kilometers southwest of Svatov, and in the Serebryansk forest area south of Kremina. At Lyman direction, Russian army shelled Nevsk, Bilohorivka of Luhansk region and Torsk, Verkhnekamiansk, Spern of Donetsk region. Russian aviation conducted airstrikes at Bilohorivka of Luhansk region and Serebryanka, Syversk, Spern and Vesel of Donetsk region, General Staff of Armed Forces of Ukraine says in the morning report. At Bakhmut direction, Russian army shelled Minkivka, Markov, Chasiv Yar, Protekine, Dylyivka, Toretsk of Donetsk region. Russian aviation conducted airstrike near Blahodatny, General Staff of Armed Forces of Ukraine says in the morning report. Ukrainian forces continued limited offensive operations in the Bakhmut area but did not make any claimed or confirmed advances on August 13. Russian sources claimed that Ukrainian forces attacked Russian positions north and west of Klishchiivka 7 kilometers southwest of Bakhmut. A prominent Russian millblogger claimed that Ukrainian forces heavily shelled Russian positions at the Kurdyumivka-Ozaryanovka line 13 to 15 kilometers southwest of Bakhmut but did not conduct a ground attack. Russian forces continued offensive operations in the Bakhmut area and reportedly advanced on August 13. Russian millbloggers claimed that Russia's 83rd Airborne VDV Brigade recaptured parts of southern Klishchiivka during a counterattack, but that Ukrainian forces still hold southwestern Klishchiivka. The Ukrainian General Staff reported that Russian forces conducted unsuccessful offensive operations west of Yahidny 2 kilometers north of Bakhmut, near Klishchiivka, south of Andriivka 10 kilometers southwest of Bakhmut, and near Bila Hora 12 kilometers southwest of Bakhmut. A Russian millblogger claimed that Russian forces also counterattacked near Berkivka and Kurdyumivka. Another Russian millblogger posted footage of the Russian 102nd Motorized Rifle Regiment 150th Motorized Rifle Division, 8th Guards Combined Arms Army, Southern Military District firing on Ukrainian positions near Klishchiivka. At Avdiivka direction, Russian army shelled Avdiivka, Severn, Nedolov, Nevelsk, Karlivka of Donetsk region. Russian aviation conducted airstrikes near Avdiivka, General Staff of Armed Forces of Ukraine says in the morning report. At Mariinka direction, Russian army shelled Oleksandropol, Maximilianivka, Pobieda, Novomikhailivka and Yelizavetivka of Donetsk region. Russian aviation conducted airstrike at Krasnohorivka of Donetsk region, General Staff of Armed Forces of Ukraine says in the morning report. Russian forces continued limited offensive operations on the Avdiivka-Donetsk city line but did not advance on August 13. The Ukrainian General Staff reported that Ukrainian forces repelled Russian attacks near Avdiivka and Marinka 27 kilometers southwest of Avdiivka. A Russian millblogger claimed that Ukrainian forces control roughly 30% of Marinka, and that Chechen Akhmet Special Forces elements reinforced Donetsk People's Republic DNR forces in the area. The millblogger complained that it is pointless for Russian forces to continue attacking Ukrainian positions in the Avdiivka direction due to the strength of Ukrainian defenses and counter-battery combat in the area. At Shakhtarsk direction, Russian army shelled Bohoyavlenka, Zolota Niva, Blahodatny, Staromayorsk, Novosilka, Novopol of Donetsk region, General Staff of Armed Forces of Ukraine says in the morning report. Ukrainian forces continued offensive operations in the Donetsk-Zaporizhia Oblast border area on August 13 and advanced south of Velika Novosilka. Russian millbloggers widely claimed that Ukrainian forces attacked Uruzhain 9 kilometers south of Velika Novosilka and captured Russian positions in the northern part of the settlement, but Russian forces likely retained some positions in southern Uruzhain. Several Russian millbloggers claimed that Russian forces withdrew from Uruzhain on August 12, but the preponderance of millbloggers refuted those claims on August 13 and claimed that Russian forces maintained positions in southern Uruzhain while the rest of the settlement is a contested gray zone, and the August 12 reports were likely incorrect or referred to limited withdrawals by individual units, rather than Russian forces as a whole. Geolocated footage posted on August 13 confirms that some Russian troops left the village and shows Russian infantry retreating from Uruzhain towards Zavitsny Bajanya less than 3 kilometers south of Uruzhain. A Russian millblogger also reported that Ukrainian troops attacked Pryutny 16 kilometers southwest of Velika Novosilka. Russian forces reportedly conducted unsuccessful attempts to restore lost positions in the Donetsk-Zaporizhia Oblast border area on August 13. The Ukrainian General Staff reported that Russian troops conducted unsuccessful attacks west of Staromayorsk 9 kilometers south of Velika Novosilka and near Uruzhain. A Russian millblogger also claimed that Russian forces counterattacked from positions near Uruzhain. Russian sources indicated that elements of the Donetsk People's Republic DNR Cascade Operational Tactical Formation, Vostok Battalion, 40th Naval Infantry Brigade Pacific Fleet, and 37th Motorized Rifle Brigade 36th Combined Arms Army, Eastern Military District are fighting in the area. At Zaporizhia direction, Russian army shelled Levetny, Olhivsk, Malinivka, Huliaipol, Pavlivka, Kamyansk of Zaporizhia region and Nikopol of Dnipropetrovsk region, General Staff of Armed Forces of Ukraine says in the morning report. Russian sources reported that Ukrainian forces conducted unsuccessful offensive operations in western Zaporizhia Oblast on August 13. Russian sources claimed that 2 Ukrainian assault groups totaling between 40 to 60 personnel launched an attack on Russian positions near Robotyne 13 kilometers south of Orikhiv. One millblogger claimed that Ukrainian forces captured some positions 3 kilometers east and northwest of Robotyne, and other Russian sources reported that heavy fighting is ongoing east of Robotyne. Russian sources claimed that Russian forces ultimately repelled the attack and inflicted high personnel and equipment losses on Ukrainian troops. Russian forces reportedly conducted unsuccessful attempts to restore lost positions in western Zaporizhia Oblast on August 13. The Ukrainian General Staff reported that Russian forces conducted unsuccessful attempts to restore lost positions east of Robotyne. A prominent Russian millblogger claimed that Russian forces pushed Ukrainian forces from the eastern outskirts of Robotyne on August 12. At Kherson direction, Russian army shelled Mikhailivka, Vesel, Ivanivka, Antonivka, Berihov, Velitensk of Kherson region and Kutsarub, Ochakiv of Mykolaiv region, General Staff of Armed Forces of Ukraine says in the morning report. Russia continues to engage in terrorism and a fire is reported in a supermarket in Odessa as a result of a Russian attack. Subscribe to the comment channel and support Ukraine so that this terrible war ends faster.